Neha International. These companies, the Ethiopian companies, are owned by a Mauritius-based company. That's the holding company. Neha is now in the process of acquiring this Mauritius company. We expect that it should be over this month if we get the clearance from FIPB. The business model, as I said, is growing in Africa and exporting to the rest of the world. Ownership in India.
How do you find just starting your own farms instead of that going for acquisition? So what is the best strategy?
These are our own farms. In fact, I have started these farms in a personal capacity. So the acquisition, in the strict sense of the term, is not an acquisition. It's basically integration of our own farms. It's consolidation of what our holdings are in Ethiopia into our own, again, our own company where we have a major holding in India. So it's actually a consolidation, not acquisition. Further, the growth that we are looking at is predominantly going to be organic growth, where we will be adding the next 30 hectares this year on the lands that we already have, but we are also on the lookout for more land, and we'll be putting up more farms. We are not very aggressive in organic growth or acquisitions. We would like to do that, but that again doesn't mean that we are on the shopping spree looking for companies to buy. No, I mean, when the opportunity comes, we would like to be ready, and that it would happen. But for the next couple of years, we are mostly organic growth.
How do you foresee the future?
Wonderful, actually. The global trend is like this. What is happening globally is that for floriculture, and in the West, in all the developed world, everything is expressed from a birth to a death to every social event. Flowers play a very major role. They express it with flowers. So flowers in general, roses specifically, are used a lot in all the developed world. While the market will remain in the developed world, we feel that the production, which is already, we see a trend, will shift to low-cost countries. If you take geographically the American continent, the North American market stays in North America, but supplies will be coming from South America, which is what is happening now. Colombia and Ecuador are playing a very major role exporting to North America, US and Canada. Similarly, in this part of the world, where Europe is a big market, we see huge growth levels in production from Africa, exports to Europe. So there's significant cost advantages. At the cost of 1 hectare that you can put up a 1 hectare farm in Europe, you can do 6 hectares in Africa for that cost. That's because in Europe the problem is one of extreme weathers, extreme cold, so lack of light. For all this, they need to have glass houses, which are very expensive to retain heat, as against having poly houses, greenhouses in Africa. The infrastructure cost of setting up a unit in Europe is very expensive. They have to retain heat, they have to heat their greenhouses, they have to have artificial lighting. Their manpower costs are much more expensive. Productivity is better, but then the manpower costs are very expensive. So all these are making it very difficult for European growers to remain in business, and we see a lot of, at this point of time, a lot of rose growing is going down in Europe, and this is being displaced. They're being displaced by the growing from Africa. Besides that, what is also happening is there is a growing demand. Eastern Europe is now, the economies in Eastern European countries are doing well, so there's a lot of demand for flowers again. So for the next several years to come, I see a huge demand happening.
Anything more you would like to say about Neha International, about its strengths?
Neha, as I said, has been a pioneer in India and is also a pioneer in Ethiopia. We have an excellent team of people. That's our strength. We have people with more than 10 years of experience in this field, and we believe this team is going to take it forward. And once restructuring is completed, we would like to raise capital, part debt, part equity, and we expect we will grow. We will have 100% growth levels year on year for the next 3 years, and profitability should be much more than that.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mr.